not everyone is going to like you. In fact, some people might hate you for no reason whatsoever. They just do not like your personality. They do not like what you stand for. They don't like anything about you. And that is pretty much par for the course. Uh, I remember when I was in 8th grade, there was a guy, I forget his name, but he was this redhead kid. And I sat next to him in math class. And it had been maybe a week or two into the class, so I knew pretty much everyone. And I was one of those kids I was just nice to everybody. Whatever anyone needed, I would get and do, because I was very much a people pleaser. I wanted people to like me. And the uh, the redhead, we'll call him the redhead. He just out of the blue, for no reason whatsoever, just said, "We're gonna fight." And I was thinking, "What? Really? Why?" And he said, "I don't like you, and we're gonna fight." So we leave, the class is over, go out front, and we're in this grassy area, and he beat the crap out of me. He got on top of me, like in a mounted position, and started beating on me. That's back when I didn't know anything about how to fight. I had no clue whatsoever. And it sucked. And it was one of those moments where I did not understand. I was a nice guy. I was nice to everybody. And why would somebody not want to reciprocate that kindness back? And it was the first time I realized that some people just are going to not like me at all. Because there are people who will like you, who will think you're amazing. There are people who think you're a good person. There are people who are, you're good. You're kind of middle of the road. People who don't like you, and there are people who just absolutely hate you. Sometimes it's for a reason. Sometimes it's not. It could be that you're just socially awkward. It could be that you don't know how to hold a conversation, things like that. Those could be factors, but sometimes it is outright rejection. Uh, this still happens to this day, even though my social skills, my way of speaking, the way that I look, even though even though I'm very, very, very good at talking with people, and then on top of that, I'm kind, I'm nice, but I know people generally know not to mess with me because I know how to fight as well. Done Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu for a long time, for years and years and years. And it's not there to be like, ooh, look at me, I'm amazing. I can fight and beat everybody up. It's not that. It's just, you know, if it happens, it happens. Still, with all of that, with all of that, the about 99% of people are totally cool. Some love me, some tolerate me, some are like, yeah. But there are still those people who do not do not resonate. It's like a different vibration, right? I even had at the gym recently. I had somebody that I had seen there many, many, many times. We fist bumped uh, several times, things like that. And then all of a sudden, that person was like, "Do I know you? Like, don't talk to me." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Are you serious?" Okay. And I was like, for me, those experiences in the past would have been a huge hit to me, because there was so much personal triggers involved. My expectation is that this person is going to do XYZ. My expectation is that if I am nice, it's going to come back at me. Even up to adulthood, that expectation was always there. But when you start seeing yourself, and you have to be this way, when you start becoming somebody who's constantly expanding, constantly growing in wealth, growing in property, growing in skills, whether it's languages, music, you're becoming a powerful person, whether you're male or female. When you're becoming a powerful person, you start developing this callousness, and not in a bad way. Just like your feet become callous if you're stepping on stones all the time, just like my shins, because I'm constantly hitting the heavy bag, all the nerves in my shins are dead, or they're, they don't feel anything right now. And so when I hit the heavy bag, I feel nothing. Whereas when I started Muay Thai, my shins hurt like heck when I hit the heavy bag. But every day, except for Sundays, maybe Saturdays, I'm whacking my shins against a heavy bag to keep that going. As you start developing these calluses, these adaptations, when you become more powerful, when you become a more powerful person, you start to develop this sense of, their loss. That's their loss. Because imagine you, this is why this is why shows like Undercover Boss and things like that are so cool, is that you never know who you are talking to. You never know who will be that person who can help you to get to that next level. And I'm not saying that for, like, if you talk to me, you're gonna be able to become rich and wealthy and all these different things. No. What I will say is that you never know who you're talking to. There are people who I've met that have gotten me into places that I could never have gotten before. And if I were a jerk, if I were a mean to that person, it would have obviously never happened, right? And so when that happened at the gym, when that person was like, "Do I know you?" Literally, rather than being, and keeping in mind this is a place in a spot where several people were there, and so not only were several people there, there was it's a very quiet place, so there is the feeling of embarrassment, things like that, that generally would have crushed me way back in the day. But when that happened, the immediate reaction was, okay, you're lost. Like, you're effing lost. Done. And zero energy is then given to that person. That is how you start to handle rejection. You start to not take it personally. You have to see rejection as, some people are made in a way where they are closed off to you. And that's fine. Imagine if the beauty of it is that sometimes you want that to happen quickly. You want that to happen as fast as possible. I'll have clients who come to one of my companies, Pro Sulim. I'll have clients come. They'll go on a sales call. They'll be jerks to the people who are my salespeople who are taking the call, and my sales guys will terminate the call. That's thousands and thousands of dollars per month that they let go, because they know that down the road, it actually would be more detrimental to have that person as a client. The faster we can get that client out of our hair, the faster they can get on better sales calls. They can get on sales calls that are going to be with meaningful clients who will bring more and more clients, right? So this feeling of abundance, this feeling of their loss, it is honestly their loss. If you are exciting, if you're interesting, if you're powerful, if you are wealthy, if you have certain talents, things like that, who wouldn't want to be with a friend who had all of those things, and a friend who also wants you to have all of those things and wants to help you have all of those things? If somebody is literally of the mindset of of I don't like this guy at all or this girl at all for no apparent reason other than I don't like them, why fight that? Why try to make them? I even had a friend of mine I talked to when I shared what happened at the gym. He's like, yeah, well, they're going to be feeling really awkward when you don't give them any, of your attention. I literally said, I don't care. I'm giving 0 F's. There's no energy being given to that person at all. At all. Because why? That little bit amount of energy of, oh, well, I hope this person feels bad or whatever. That energy needs to go to my friends. That needs to go to people who value me. That needs to go to people that I can then, like some of my people that I help, like some of my people who pay me for mentoring. I'd rather that energy to go to them, so then they can make more and more money and they can become more and more powerful, right? So rejection is there as a means to do a couple things. One is to strengthen you, to give you those calluses. That's why I love getting negative YouTube comments, because every single one is a callus and helps me to become better and better and better. So that's one. The other thing with rejection is it allows you to see yourself. Were you rejected because you were socially awkward? Were you rejected because you said things in a provocative way? Were you rejected because you pushed the limit of what you could say? There are reasons why you were potentially rejected, and if it was because of you, then you can start fixing it. You can revise it in your head. You can become better at what you were planning, what your goal was in the first place. If it was not you, if it was them, maybe they were having a bad day and they were friends, then you really knew that they were having a bad day. Those are the types of people that you might want to not have the bridge be burned, right? If they are acquaintances, though, if they're acquaintances who you just met and they act like the fool already, great thing, because now you don't have to deal with those people. Obviously, when you're dealing with the opposite sex, you want to up your communication skills and your game and everything like that. But if it has nothing to do with you, that's where you might end up just having to cut off the person. So, not everyone's going to like you. It is what it is. It's very hard to deal with for some people. I know it was for me, but not everyone's going to like you. Who are those people right now that don't like you? Cut them off. It's all good. The more energy that you save from trying to be their friends and trying to do things with them, the more you can give that to somebody who actually will respect who will love, who will value who you are and what you're bringing to them. So, all right, I'm going to go grab some Starbucks and start doing a little work on the laptop. See ya.